Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro. It's me, your friendly neighborhood host. It is Carty. Today, we are talking about this week's photo assignments. This week's photo assignment was pretty simple. I wanted you to shoot something within your niche with a twist. I mean, I needed a little bit of something extra. That means being clever. It doesn't mean doing stuff in post-production to act as a crutch, a hook, a LUT, a filter, something to add a twist to your camera, to your picture. I'm not talking about just making it black and white. I'm talking about literally adding a twist to your work. We have 29 photos to look at this week. I'm very excited to see what the photographers who submitted this week have in store for me. It is your favorite show of the week, and it's called Real Photo Reviews. We've been doing this for literally 3.5 years. It was 3 years in February, so we're coming up on halfway to year 4. I'm pretty excited about doing this. I have a nice system for reviewing photos. I draw on the photos. I show exactly what's working, what's not. I have overlays to show your cropping. So let me read an exact brief of the assignment. Create a horizontal image within your niche with a twist. What does that mean? It means your shit is boring. It needs something, a pop, a twist. It means being clever. It's the brilliance that you create with idea and execution, not what you're trying to save or fix in post. And I mentioned some great shooters that always add a twist to their work, like Rankin, Michael Muller, Yuko Photo. Let's move this a bit. But also Chris Buck, Jill Greenberg. And the request was to make a horizontal image, 4,000 pixels wide by 100 dpi. All right, so it's a horizontal image, and always the deadline is, it's got to be delivered by Wednesday, meaning Wednesday midnight. As soon as the calendar turns over to Thursday, the deadline is over. Somebody did submit after deadline. My staff told me that there's one submitted after, and again, it actually said up on the title, now closed, which means you can't submit anymore. So this is this week's assignment. This is the Carty Method community. Let's get into this week's photographs. Our first photographer, his name is Mike Steinmetz. Mike shot with an R8 50mm STM 1.8, shot at 13 seconds at f/22. And at ISO 100, he was inspired by a quote by David Allen: "When the only tool you have is a hammer, it's hard to eat spaghetti." That's amazing. It's part research for an upcoming Substack article about using the correct tool for the job. This twisted assignment came at the perfect time because this photo was happening regardless. This is the one they call Mike Steinmetz. Mike, thanks for submitting. Mike, right off the bat, this is a really strong image. Right off the bat, I really appreciate the fact that you went so hard. And again, it is exactly what I requested, which is your niche with a twist. Mike shoots power tools. It's a very specific niche. He shoots power tools and the people who use them. So it's all about manufacturing and making with Mike's work. So to mix this with Spaghetti Yeti, I think it's great. Let's have a look at this as a double. Look at this crop as a double page spread. Look at how beautiful the logo is placed both here and also here. Really nice placement and leading line that brings you through the picture from one side to the other. And he's not hiding the fact that this is a hammer. He's not hiding that fact too much. Yes, obviously we got a bit messy with the seamless, but that's the commitment. You're using the wrong tool for the job. And in fact, you're actually just emphasizing that by utilizing and showcasing the ultra darker background. Exposure wise, Mike, I would bring my exposure up on this like plus a third. This needs just a little bit more exposure here so it pops. You can see the plate is a white plate, but it's not popping enough. There's also some shadow detail under here and in here that could really be enhanced. And also just some shadow detail in here. I think if you literally just in processing brought your exposure up a third, you would absolutely win. You're framing everything for me. This is a win, Mike. This is a win. You get an 11 on this photo. This is a banger for me. Well played. Well done. That's Mikey Steinmetz. Well done, Mike. Thanks for submitting. All right, our next photographer goes by the name Garan Rath. Garan says another product photo this weekend. Garan, I heard what you said about shifting niches from people to products just because of where you live in the world and the opportunity that you have within the product space versus within the shooting portrait space. So I'm behind you. I believe in you, and you're a great product photographer. So don't worry at all, guy. I got you. This is Garan Rath, shot at... Sorry, let me get this first. Shot at ISO 100 f16, a 200th of a second with a 70 millimeter. This is Garan Rath. All right, Garan, let's look at this image. Garan Rath, thanks for submitting. Garan, this is a clinic. I'm really, really impressed with how far you're starting to take this. Let's look at this as a double page spread. We have room for the article to go up here with a nice dynamic slant. We also have room for the article to go here with a nice dynamic slant. This also works for advertising. Like, it works beautifully for advertising. I think that it's kind of a no-brainer to see this as an ad for Gillette. And is it following my assignment, which is your niche with a twist? Well, I would say absolutely. It 100% is following. I'm going to give you absolutely an 11 out of 10 for this, Garan. Really beautiful choice of color. Your color palette is beautiful. I'm really happy with this. I think that this... Oops. I am trying to make this go away. I think that this is really pretty much spot on. This picture can go directly into your portfolio, Garan. This is, again, if I wasn't clear, an 11, and this is Garan Rath, all the way from South Africa. All right, Garan, good shit. Again, it's good because, again, the people who watch me take this really seriously. They take this craft really seriously. They're really, really trying to become professional photographers. If I give them an assignment, they do it, and they're there watching, taking notes on all the critiques or the positive things that I give and the positive reinforcement so they can do it again. Like, that's the whole idea. All right, let's get to our next shooter. This is Stevie Gameall. Stevie says, assignment completed. This is his picture with a twist. This is Stevie Gameall. Stevie, thanks for submitting. So I'm trying to, let's see how this looks as a double page spread. Your framing is good, Stevie. Your framing is good. I haven't zoomed in yet. I'm trying to figure out what the twist is. I'm also trying to figure out if you just extended the white and made this vertical picture a horizontal picture. There's nothing over here that actually shows me that this picture didn't just end here and you just, because you shot it on white, you just extended it, pushed it to the left or the right because you know I like it, or you know that that's how you shoot to a format. But the problem is that this doesn't have any context. This doesn't have, for me, any context or any twist. There's no twist. This is just a man with a bass playing it with a bit of a smile. I mean, yes, it's formatted properly for sure. I feel like it would be a little bit stronger in black and white. And the way that you did post-production and stripped away all the shadows, it definitely is losing a little bit of depth and making it feel a little bit close cropped. Let's have a look at this closer. When I go in closer, it looks a little out of focus. I mean, it's because the file, again, it's not formatted properly. So, and I can also see in here where you have done cleanup. So I can see here that the original picture was definitely not perfect. I can also see mistakes here where you're doing a close cropping or going in and cleaning up the white. I can also see it in here. So for me, I know that you're now just going in, and I can also see here the way that you're blending the shadows and blending them out into nothing, that the yellowing here tells me that the way that the background is going to be here is not correct. So yeah, for me, this is a close crop. And another really big evidence of that close crop is right here. In there. Your clients are going to see it. If I see this and see that this just looks like you've chopped this out on white, it's not going to pass. And again, I want you to remember, Stevie, you're not doing this for me. You're doing this for you. You're not here trying to impress me. I need you to do the assignments and really try. If you do that, you're going to excel so much better than if you keep doing what you're doing, which is trying to make stuff work for my assignment. This is a vertical picture. There's nothing horizontal about this picture. And it's easy when you shoot to white to just close crop it and then make the other side white and then call it a horizontal. And that for me is like, okay, bro, you can try to do that for an art director. Try to do that for an art director. Try to do that for a client who hires you to shoot a double page spread. Just try to do it. See what happens. See how it works. You know what I mean? For me, again, you got to know it's inconsequential here. This is just a photo review. I'm just another photographer. In fact, I'm your competition. So when it comes to shooting to white, when you shoot to white, you need to know technically how to have a perfect white in camera. This is in camera is what my white looks like. And there's no close cropping. This is done with light. So you can't see where the end is. And this is very much a vertical picture. And it's shot to be close cropped because this is what they did with the work. So I shot with intent, knowing they were doing a composite for the poster. But I did all the same light, so when they put them together, they all made sense. But I also knew this could be a horizontal or a vertical, like I was shooting for artwork. When you're trying to apply this, which could also be applied in the same way, I understand, but the better you can make that white, technically, the better your photography will be. Here's another example of a white on white. The better that you can make your photography technically, the better you'll be. I'll give you another example of a white on white. And one of my favorites, a white on white. And yes, this is definitely a center focused horizontal. It's not something that I would do normally, but this was shot literally as a video thumbnail for a campaign. So, Stevie, I think this is a miss for me. And it's a miss because you're trying to, again, make your photos fit the assignment instead of doing the assignment. And this, sadly, is not your work with a twist. This is just your work. I hope it brought you value. That is Stevie Gameall. Thanks for submitting, Stevie. Keep shooting, man. Don't be discouraged, but also, this isn't a joke. I'll say again, you're doing this for you. You're not doing it for me. It doesn't matter to me whether you become a world famous photographer. I like you. I want you to be successful. So yes, it does matter to me, but it's totally dependent on the work that you do. 100% on the work that you do. I am just a coach. If I'm coaching an Olympic athlete and they do not do the work necessary to get them to the Olympics, or they won't do that, guess what I'll do? I'll just find another athlete that will, so I can coach them. That's it. I'll just find another horse. So if you want to be one of those horses, like super very much pay attention and don't try to do what you're doing, because I see it. I'm too experienced. You know what I mean? Thanks so much, Stevie. This is Sebastian Kawaka. We often use smiles as a mask to hide our true feelings. ISO 150 millimeter, 2.8, 1/16th hundredth of a second. This is Sebastian Kawaka. Let's go, Sebastian. Glad you're here. Sebastian Kawaka. Sebastian, right off the top, you're composing on the thirds, and when I show a double page spread, you can see how much this biases onto the inside gutter. You can see right away that this is biasing so much to the gutter, and you have so much room on that side. Just move over and put her on this line, which you can see would have dropped her face directly on the center of one page. And then you can let the other page do what it's doing. For me, is this a portrait with a twist? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a portrait with a twist. Yes. But is it cropped properly? Oh, Sebastian, that's where I get frustrated, because you know this. You know this. You're in my accelerator. You know this. You've watched hundreds of photo reviews. You know this. So when you have the grid turned on your camera, you have to have your subject on this side of that line, because you can literally draw like thirds on that line, and on oops, that line's not that great. A third there, and then a third here. Oops, there you go. A third here, and then a third here. So you can see you're composing using your grid lines in your camera. And I continually say, don't do that, especially when you're shooting horizontal, please, because it only works compositionally and with the compositional rules and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to actual practical application of this being in a magazine, don't shoot on the thirds. Yes, you're offsetting, so that's the beginning of it, but you have to cut your frame in half and then put your subject on in the middle of that half of the frame. So essentially, you're cutting your frame in quarters. That's what you're doing. You're cutting your frame in quarters. And then now you have those lines, and then you also have this line here, which is where you drop your subject. And then you have this line here, which is your alternative side as to where you drop your subject. And the thirds going this way, you can play the thirds game going this way till the cows come home. That's totally fine as far as where you drop your horizon. But it needs to be, as far as structurally where you're dropping your subject, it needs to be on the quarters, not on the thirds. I hope that explains it, Sebastian. Super, super, super clearly, my friend. Again, there's a couple of small things with this photo. First of all, the exposure here is under, and that carries on up here and a little bit up here. Because you're backlit, yes, you're shooting in shade, but the light is so bright back here, you need to use exposure compensation here in order to add like half or a third of a stop in order to make it so your subject, which is the most important thing, is tight and exposed properly. All of this stuff in the background, just let that go bright. And then you can bring this down in post, in recovery. It's a lot harder to bring up shadow detail because it starts to look muddy, and then you start to get a ton of grain. So I hope that brought you value. This is Sebastian Kawaka. Sebastian, again, such a strong picture, but for you, like, it's definitely like I want you to stay on this lane from time to time, which is shooting pictures with a twist. I think it's really important, but I also want you to watch this car jumping out from behind her, which is hella distracting. This other car jumping out from behind her here. I mean, yes, there's cars here and blah, blah, blah. So it becomes, is this the location to do this picture? It's a great idea. Is this the location to do it? Like you're trying to include the elements of the leading line and the blah, blah, blah. And where it's like, all you need to do is put her on a white wall and shoot this picture, or put her against a wall and shoot this picture and format it the same way. Now it's like, now I just see her and it's not competing with anything. I hope that brought you value. That is Sebastian Kawaka, everybody. All right. Who's next? By the way, I'm Carty. If you don't know, I've been a professional photographer for...
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint, so when I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Pharrell Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorite. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
Every once in a while, I think it's important to establish who it is that I am and why I'm here doing this. I'm obsessed about helping the next generation of pros actually make it. Making it in the creative industry is one of the hardest things going, which is why so many people have a backup plan. That's why so many parents try to talk you out of being a creative or having a creative job. It's so unstable, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? So many people who go into that 9-to-5 grind, that backup plan, hate their life. Hate their life. You might be one of them. I help photographers transition from that life that they hate to a life of a working creative. That's what I do. So I obsess over it. And I notice details that you won't see. So join my photo reviews if you're interested in having your photography up for review like these fine people are doing. It takes bravery to put your work up. Most photographers are so ego-filled. They're the best photographer. Anyone who knows them knows, oh, John, he's the best. He's the best. It's like, but those people aren't in the know. Those aren't clients. Those aren't advertising agencies or marketing agencies or photo editors or art. Like, they're just people, your friends who like your stuff. Amazing. So we can all walk around looking for other people to just pat us on the back, double tap our stuff on social media, or we could actually seek real help from a professional who's actually doing it already and has been doing it. I've been doing it for decades. And if it's not me, that's actually find another working professional, someone who's working, who's living the life that you wish you had, and learn from them. Seriously, try to be an assistant, try to get in a studio, try to do something. in order to help you get to where they are. That's the quickest way to do it. And for me, I give away so much content here for free on YouTube. I just give it away because there's not a shortage of information. I mean, my information I like to think is a little bit different, but there's not a shortage of information out there. Information is everywhere. Where in fact, there's too much information out there, actually. There's too much. And sadly, related to photography, there's a lot of bullshit information out there by people who aren't even doing it. So, especially on YouTube. So, I am always looking for the right photographers. And the right photographers watch me. The wrong, like, if my stuff, my vibe, my style doesn't resonate with you, please don't watch me. It's totally okay. Like, it doesn't offend anybody. It doesn't offend me. But for the people who want my help, I'm obsessed about helping you get to the next level. So if you're one of those people, stay close. Make sure you join the community. The community is free to join, and it's a great way for you to see other people who watch me. I also, Tuesdays, I do an after party. It's just like a Zoom chat that I do after the podcast, and it's a great way for you to talk to me directly. It's a great way for me to see your face and see who actually watches me. It happens every Tuesday after Behind the Picture, but you have to be in my community in order to get the Zoom link. So the community's free, the meetups are free, and it's a great way to see some other people that I'm helping create transformations. So, all right, let's get into Marvin. Sebastian, thank you for submitting. This is Marvin Miller. Marvin says this: ISO 200, 100 millimeter, f4.5, 1/60th of a second, shot with an R5, with a 70 to 200 lens. Using an off-camera speed light. Okay, so the light within, it doesn't come in a box. You live fully when you utilize the light within. This is Marvin Miller with his picture with a twist. Marvin, thanks for submitting. We're having a sizing issue here, Marvin. One thing that I got to tell everybody, if you're part of my photo reviews crew, don't submit your photos from your phone, please. You're shooting with a pro camera, which means you're processing that pro stuff on your station, on your laptop. Upload your assignments from there. Don't send them to your phone and then join the community or go on the community on the run when you're using your phone and then post your photo mobile, because it will compress your photo, because that's what sometimes mobile things do. If you're sizing your picture correctly to 4,000 pixels wide, as I request every week, if you're doing that, it will be the size proper if you post it from desktop. If you post it from mobile, I don't know what, every different phone is different when it comes to uploading and compression and all that stuff. So please simplify your life, and I can stop saying resize your image properly, because it's hurting you. You know what I mean? And it sets a tempo, sadly, for people who have to review their photos after. So please size your photos correctly. So I'm trying to now resize this picture. This is Marvin Miller. By the way, Marvin, thank you for submitting. Marvin, you can see it's hard for me to now make this an exact double page because the sizing isn't right. Framing wise, you nailed it. So composition wise, I'm going to give you for sure a check, which is definitely a good thing. I know that you've been grinding hard and shooting a lot and really trying to find your eyes and find your light. What I appreciate here is that you didn't take a picture, you made a picture, and you made this picture for me. I mean, you tried to make it all philosophical and like the light within the box, and like, I got that. The skull, or the sort of half castle gray skull kind of mouth thing, like, I don't understand where that is coming from. I don't understand the guitar. So there's two elements within this frame that, like, the box, I understand. The subject, I understand. The underlight and the background and the shadows and all this, like, yes. But are they a musician? You know what I mean? So the guitar is a prop that's so predominant and so non-related at all to this photo that I would rather see just a blank wall. I'd rather just see the shadows. And in fact, it would leave room for the art director to put copy. In fact, a whole article that could go the whole way to explain what's happening here. So, I think honestly, this shot, just with this box and the light coming out of this box without this, would have also been totally compelling. Totally compelling. Or having another idea that makes more sense other than the skull mask. Because for me, I'm having a hard time understanding why the wear of the skull mask and the wear of the guitar. I shot a picture for what's it called? I shot a picture for Open Textbooks, and it was like a Pandora's box picture, and it's right here. So if you see this picture, you can see that everything in this photo makes sense, and everything in this photo is here for a reason. So this is basically my version. It's a vertical version of me doing I guess it's like a Pandora's. Now, look how detailed the box is. Like, sourced the box. Look what's on the table. It looks like the guy's just having, like, watching TV. He's clearly in his kitchen, so you can see the kitchen and stuff behind. He's sitting on his couch. The pillows, everything's propped properly. And the post-production is done in such a way that, like, we hired a post-production artist to actually do this to the level that you see it right here. And all the glow, and I just put a light in the box the same way that you did, but like, there's a context to this, and there's no elements that are distracting at all, taking away from, there's no mask, there's no props in the background. It's just an idea. It's like revealing an idea. Like, that's kind of what this take is. So that's the next thing that I want you to work on, is trying not to include so many elements in the photo to try to, like, especially elements that don't work. If they're literally, start working on taking things out of your picture, not adding things into your photo. They're like, seriously, just this person opening this box or reacting to, or a little peek in, like, there's so many different ways that you can now play into just opening this box. That alone, and the perspective, how high or low you are. Get really low, get really close, so it's just the eyeballs that are across the, like, there's so many different ways that you can do it, Marvin, but that's called creativity. We all have endless supplies of it. You absolutely have your own, but for me, these elements, they're not working 100% the way that they should. And please, please, please don't submit from mobile, because it means that I can't click your picture. I can't look at it big, because now this is an enlarged picture. It's no longer 100%, and I can't check your focus and all of those things, and therefore can't really help you as much as I want to. So please, everybody watching, don't upload from mobile until I figure out, like, a better solution. Right now, this is, I like the way that we're doing photo reviews, but, you know, I hold on to strong ideas loosely. So if another stronger idea comes along that works better than the way that I'm doing it, we're going to do it that way. Right now, it's working perfect. So just don't submit from mobile. Okay? Thanks so much. That was Marvin. Thanks, Marvin. All right. Who be next? Who be next is Monica. Monica says, I wanted to do a series of light painted portraits with different types of people. I'm experimenting with my portable umbrella, a couple of lenses. Fine tuning, I'll be able to move forward in my personal project. Canon R6 Mark II, 50mm f8, ISO 200 with a 4-second exposure, and flash at a quarter power. You brought up exposure in post. Okay, so so I reshot it. So okay, so anyways, it seems like this is amended, and it also seems like there's 2 pictures. So Monica, there's one photo that I review, just one, and I see you having a dialogue with other, like, submit one photo, and if you submit, like, if you need to, like, there is no I need to submit 2. So I'm going to review, I mean, and again, the first photo I saw should be the photo I reviewed, but I'm going to review the second one. Please only, like, delete the other one, then resubmit. If it's all within the deadline, do that as much as you like, but don't have 2 photos in your submission. Nobody else does that. So please follow the crowd. This is Monica Petroski. Monica, thank you for submitting. Let's have a look at what Monica's got for us. Thank you. All right, Monica. So the light painting idea, let's look at this as a double page spread. It's your photos with a twist is the idea. You can see the way that she's holding the brush up, to me, doesn't look at all like she's doing any of those strokes. It definitely looks like those strokes came in after the fact. You can also see how where her hand is placed is the exact place on the gutter where the gutter goes. So we're going to lose her hand, and it's going to look as though there's a paintbrush coming out of her arm. So extend her arm into this more. So you're cutting her arm here, which is more of an understandable crop. Yeah, so again, whether I can see people talking in chat saying it was supposed to be the other photo. Like, this is the whole point why there's not 2 photos ever in one person's submission for me to look at. Never ever. So I chose the second picture thinking that it was it would be the second one would be the new one, right? So that's the photo that's getting the review. Okay, so as far as the picture of your subject, it's definitely sharp. It's in focus. Make sure that that head expression is not too high. Like, for me, she needs to be doing something. Like, it's really clear that this is a composite. Oops. It's clear to me that it's a composite where you're taking a picture of her doing this, and then in another picture, you're doing a whole bunch of light painting, and then, or you're doing a whole bunch of light painting while she stands there, which is probably more likely while she sits there with her arm out like this. And then at the end, you take the picture. So again, totally understand. And I know where that idea comes from, but when we're doing this type of work, it has to make more sense. I hope John Todd's picture's here. It might not be. But I'm going to find it. I'm going to find this picture to show you just an alternative idea, because I think it's important, Monica, to show you just different ideas to make this stuff look more buyable, more believable, and not fake. And sadly, some of the ideas look a little fake. So let's look at the first one. This is the first one. This is John Todd, one of my photos. And you can see there's actually a light trail, because I didn't give him a paintbrush. I gave him a flashlight. So that's a photo. And it has a vibe. I did a whole series with him And here's another one where you can see it's actually he's drawing in the air. I'm giving him a flashlight. So it actually works as a double, and his hand goes across, and it works as a double page spread. So although this one could push over a touch, to be honest, but it's actually not the actual crop. So I hope this helps you, Monica. Like, this is, again, just a series of photos that I've done with an artist doing light painting. And you can see how far I take it when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't know if this is the last one. No, that's his. This is his work, actually. So I hope that you're going to take that as inspiration and know that when you're going to work with a painter, an artist, a subject, somebody who, like, they have to be actually doing something. It can't be posed. And also, when I click into here, I see a whole bunch of like cleanup that you're trying to do to make areas darker. So I see that, or it streaks from the light, but you can see it like literally all through here, where it's not actually black enough, and you can see it all through here and all here. So it's like technically it's a bit of a mess, and I can see that actually goes all the way over there. Again, if this isn't the picture that I was supposed to review, this is why I only review one photo, and there's not supposed to be two photos there. The other picture is underexposed, by the way. If you want my opinion on the other picture, it's underexposed. I picked the picture that was better exposed, but all the same. And yes, there's a little bit more life in the second picture, and a different, like, you changed too many variables for the second picture, personally. And yeah, I can't review two. So next time, Monica. Thanks for submitting. Okay, Miss Jennifer. This is Miss Jennifer's picture with a twist. Superhero with a twist. Batman crushing the Coca-Cola can to get every drop. Sony A7R Mark III, 50mm. Shot at 100 ISO, f16 at a 2/50th of a second. This is the one they call Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer, thanks for submitting. Miss Jennifer, this is for sure your work with a twist. I would say for sure this is your work with a twist. I'm not sure about the second can. And although you spilled Coca-Cola all over your set, to me, it doesn't make as much sense. The second can, I understand him crushing the first can. Like, I got that. And the red background, like, I understand that. But the other can, you can see how the color balance between this can and this can, this isn't getting any light at all. In fact, this is only getting ambient. This is actually only getting ambient light. And I can see there's some sort of window light coming in here because I can see the highlight on his arm. But I also see like some double shadows. There's a shadow here, there's a shadow here. So it looks like you're lighting with a couple of different light sources. I see shadows going back that way, and I see shadows going that way. So I'm not sure if this is just one or two lights. And I also see a shadow back here, which means there's some sort of light coming from that direction that's not this light. So the mixed light with this is distracting. It's a vertical picture. It doesn't need to be a double page spread because if you look at this, just Batman crushing the Coke can as like for a product photographer, sure, I can give you that as an idea. Is it your strongest idea? You know the answer to this already, Miss Jennifer. You know the answer to, like, is this your strongest work ever? No. And you know that it's not. So it's like the concept of the second can knocked over So then there's 2 cans. Hey, Toucan Sam. Now there's 2 cans. So I'm trying to figure out, there's one person. There's like, put like another superhero. Have him slipping in that spilled Coca-Cola. Like there's one for each of them. Like there needs to be an opposing thing on the second half of this page. So it's not just Batman. It's got to be, there's got to be something else, Miss Jennifer. So for me, you get like half a mark, because this for me is half a picture. And if I showed you just half of this picture, is that your best work, Miss Jennifer? If I just showed you this, is this your best work? That half, you know? So you're looking at, this is 2 pictures. This is something that I can stand a little bit more behind. I'll stand a little bit more behind that. But still, with what you're trying to do within the industry and how you're trying to be a world-class product photographer, you have to try harder. Simple. You have to try harder. Thank you so much for submitting. That is Miss Jennifer, everybody. This week's assignment's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard. This week's assignment, I already know what it is. I'm super excited about it. Stay till the end to find out who won Photo of the Week and Best in Show, as well as what this week's assignment is. I give an assignment at the end of the episode every Thursday. Tracy Williams, I hope this did this right. So my twist for me is shooting this horizontal, which is something I rarely do but need to do more of. I have to admit it was hard to not crop or do a square or use my per usual. All the cards on the table, I had to extend the background a bit to make it work for the gutter. Nikon Z6 Mark II with a 24-120 f4. Tracy, please get a 50mm to shoot in the studio. Please get a 50mm to shoot in the studio. 50, 85, 100. End of story. You're never going to be shooting in the studio with a 24, ever. So that whole one lens fits all, this whole one lens for all situations is bullshit. You're trying to be a pro. Shoot with a 50. It's the tackiest, sharpest thing, and the best way for you to improve is to shoot with normal, traditional focal lengths, especially if you're doing traditional photography. This is Tracy Williams. He shot ISO 100, 200th of a second, f4.5 at 44 millimeters. 44 millimeters. 50. Anything less than 50 bends perspective. And the only time you shoot wide is when you can't move up. You can't back up enough, or you have a big group shot and you need to bring a whole bunch of people in. And also, wide lenses are made to be held horizontally, so they start to aberrate and do weird things. Like it's like this. That's how wide happens. So when you're shooting people, get used to shooting traditional normal lenses. Although actual eye focal length is around 45 millimeter. This, let's have a look. This is Tracy Williams, everybody. Tracy, thanks for submitting. Tracy, your photography is beautiful. Your photography is beautiful. You really have a nice sensibility with your work, and your line using the model is really nice. Your exposure, the detail in the shadow is excellent. The pose is lovely. It's super simple, but you can't be trying to tell me that your twist is shooting horizontal, because I don't do that. Come on, my guy. That's an absolute cop-out. If I was paying you $100,000 to do an ad campaign and it was horizontal, don't you think you'd figure out how working pros shoot campaigns, double page spreads, billboards? Like, come on. Of course. Like, look at where your foot is cropped. This is a vertical picture. This is a vertical picture, and the only way that this works as a double page spread is if she's lying down, stretched out long between two pages. Her elbow's clipped in the gutter. Her leg is clipped in the gutter, which means her leg's going to look super short. These toes are completely cut off and gone in the gutter. Everything here over is all gone in the gutter. And this leg is going to start here. So this is going to get pushed into this side, which is going to look super weird. So this is, again, the second time somebody, Stevie was the other. This is the second time somebody's trying to extend a background and trying to make, because I said a horizontal picture. Oh yeah, just make a vertical picture or a square and just extend. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, bro, or learn how to shoot it properly. So you're not spending all your time fixing something that's broken in post. Because I promise you, an art director will just look at this and say, I thought you were going to shoot a double page spread. And you're going to be like, but I did. It's like, dude, this isn't a double page spread. Here, let me show you the layout. This is what it looks like in the magazine. What do you suggest I do? What do you suggest I do? Am I now going to recreate stuff here? I have to recreate here, recreate up here because this is so claustrophobically close, it's going to get cut off in post. Like I basically have to shrink this down. I have to shrink this down. Oops. I have to shrink this down now like this in order to, I got to keep going. I got to shrink this down like to here. And now everything else that you see, I have to recreate. So thank you. Thank you for that. Because that's the only way that this works in the magazine. So this is the insanity that you need to learn. I'm not being hard on anybody. I'm not trying to be hard on anybody. I am just simply telling you how an art director is looking at your work, how a photo editor is looking at your work. They're looking at the work with the detail that I'm looking at it. And when you look at this, it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful and the light's so pretty. And it's like, yes, but why in God's green earth would you crop it this way? Like ignore everything and think only of final use. Because the only point of making photos is for your client to use it as in a way that they need it. So this picture for me is 100% an amazing editorial photo, but it's a vertical shot horizontally, fixed to be more horizontally so it wasn't a square. Second, you need to learn how to shoot to format. Magazines are either a vertical or a horizontal. They crop pictures square to fix problems or to solve the vibe that a photographer composed a picture that they can't fit in any other way. So if you want to get double page spreads, if you want to be doing campaigns and shooting billboards and that kind of stuff, you have to learn the format. That's why I'm so when it comes to it. But anyways, I hope that brings you value. That is Tracy Williams. Thanks for submitting, Tracy. Again, the picture's an 11, but you don't get an 11 because it didn't make the brief. All right. Let's look at Daniel Van Keef. Daniel, photo with a twist. It's my own Olympics in my own backyard. A broken down scene where things are crumbling and leaking. Small wink towards the current Olympics where triathlon swimming was canceled due to a polluted river. The light was outdoor light, Fuji X Pro 3, ISO 800, 1,000th of a second, f11 at 18 millimeter with a crop sensor, which is the equivalent of 24-ish, I think. Or is it 20? This is Daniel, I think it's 24. This is Daniel Van Cleef. Daniel, thank you so much for submitting. Glad you're a part of this accelerator, my guy. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. My answer? Yes. That's it. Yes. This is funny. This is great. This is great. I mean, the idea is 100% a yes. is 100% a yes. I mean, we could have chosen a less busy background because some of these hard shadows, you can see the beams here are pushing really hard shadows, and it's going right into his face, which is taking away a little bit from this. I would have loved to have dropped his face within this space so you have a darkness, or within like this space so you have a lightness and no shadows like that. This for me is quite linear, so I would have maybe moved this bench into a different place and just placed these elements a little bit differently. Let me hide my camera. This I like back here, Danielle. I like this a lot. I like this with the fragile tape. It's a really nice detail. My vibe is the light is actually great. The high shutter speed and really freezing, all of this stuff is perfect. It's just like, I want his face centered within this space without these hard shadows, which means doing it at a different time of day, right? Next, you place it here, and then you can do it at this time of day. That's no problem at all because the shadows aren't pointing and aren't distracting at all. I mean, if you had to pick up this bench, how hard would it be? If you had to move this whole set that way, how hard would it be? Move this set that way and drop this doorway, even like that doorway could be here. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that we could do here, Daniel, but to me, I think that you did a really, really good job. I'm going to say this first, just to make it clear. This is a fantastic idea and a fantastic photo, and it's a great vibe of like your work with a twist. My vibe always is try not to have your background compete. It always has to be complementary. It always has to be complementary. And just to show you some work that I've been looking at related to the Olympics, I'll just, okay, I guess I got to log in first. Stand by. Please stand by. Ding, 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 ding. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. I make content like this 3 times a week. I do Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. And again, as mentioned, I'm pretty excited and I obsess over, oh yeah, I have to go to an authentication app. Wow, I've made it really hard to hack my Instagram. So you should too. If you don't have it, do you guys have an authenticator on your Instagram to make it so nobody can like hack your account because they have to go to an authenticator app to be able to like get in? Oh my God, that's what I do. It makes, but the thing is every once in a while I clear my cookies and all that stuff and I have to log in again. So that's what I just did. So stand by because I'm going to find I'm literally going to find this incredible session. Here it is, saved. All posts. I try to be organized with the stuff that I save and the stuff that my activity likes. Here we go. Here it is. This is some of the most brilliant work that I've seen related to the Olympics. Look at this. Look at this. This is just absolutely brilliant. Like conceptual work. And then he does the photography. He does all of this conceptual work and then uses miniatures and then does the photos. It's so smart. So this is just like, this is like, and again, this is getting like shared everywhere today, like shared everywhere. So when I say your photos with a twist, like this is the kind of stuff that I look at. You know, this is like, it's so insane and so detailed and so much work to put this work together. Like literally so clever. So again, when I'm asking for your work with a twist, like it's not just my bar, It's just the bar. It's not my bar. It's just the bar. The bar is just so high. So again, it's like, I don't want anybody to think like I'm being an asshole to them. You know what I mean? But again, the bar is high. It is not my bar. It's just the bar. Daniel, amazing idea. I'd love to see you, while the Olympics is going on, execute more from this series. Turn it into a series. Take what I told you here and turn it into something that could go viral. But start now. The Olympics are only 2 more weeks, my guy, before it's all over. Good luck. Really well done. That's Daniel. Let's go. Daniel Van Cleef. Everybody. This is Anak Kai, also known as Anak Kai, Nikon D780, 35mm, ISO 100 f5, shot at a 400th of a second. This is Anak Kai's picture, which is within her niche, with a twist. This is Anak Kai, everybody. Thanks for submitting. Anna, this is well done. I really like looking at this. This is such a vibe, and it's very nice and easy to look at. I really like the perspective. So just the perspective alone, you win for the twist. Let's look at it as a double page. It's tricky, and also the book organized tomorrow today. That's great. So right now it's just where the gutter lies. Right? It's just where the gutter lies. And could you take this book that is currently coming across the chest and bring that book up so the book is coming across here, coming across the eyes, and then have the eyes looking at camera, and then just push this head back down that way. So now the head actually ends here. So you have lots of space. The eye contact goes here, and then you can clearly read what's going on the cover of the book. And you have a beautiful second half, a second side of the page. For me, Anna, like, that's the small thing. And again, if you guys want me to make this overlay available, it's super easy to make. Like, my double page overlay, if you guys want me to make this overlay available, I will make this overlay available for you to see how your photos look. You can just drop it on top of your frame in Lightroom, or in Photoshop is what I'm trying to say, just to see what a double page looks like. And that extra line, like, this is the absolute center of your picture. This is the absolute center, but the magazine folds in like this, right? So all of this is getting distorted. So that's why I put those extra lines. Like, you're literally losing like probably an inch of distortion. And if you cut an inch of the metal of your photo and distorted it, it's going to look weird, right? So I just try to help you not put anything important on the gutter. Anna, so close with this one. Anna, in my accelerator program, she's been in my master class, in my one-on-one mentorship. She's an amazing photographer. Anna, the light, your exposure, the idea, yes. You're one of those ones where I'm going to ask you to, you're so close with this picture. It's this close. Just shoot it again, please. And do those small things that I asked. Push the book up, cover the mouth, have big eyes, you know what I mean? Looking at camera or looking down at the book, you know what I mean? Or reading what's in the book, play into the book a little bit more. The twist is your perspective. The top down is excellent. Make sure that your lines are super straight because you have a very crooked line here, which our eye goes to. Make sure you're aiming directly top down and not on a weird angle, which will also bend your lines because you're shooting with the 35mm lens, okay? And 35mm lenses bend your perspective, so you got to be really as good as you can with your top down so it doesn't start to weird perspective. I hope that brought you value. That is Anak Kai, everybody. Anak Kai. This one's hard, eh? I'm realizing giving so many photographers shoot horizontally, they don't shoot vertically at all. So I have to give a lot of vertical assignments in order to train your mind to think magazine cover, bus shelter. You know what I mean? Instagram. It's all like, it looks so much better with like a vertical format. You know what I mean? So I spend a lot of time helping people with that mindset, like shoot vertical. People are vertical. People stand, and how many, it's like person standing this way, held this way, bunch of nothing over here, bunch of nothing over here, subject drop dead center. I see this literally every week. And I say, offset your subject, Don't shoot on the thirds. Like, these are things that I want you to lock in, because if you always have me on your shoulder saying these things when you're about to train your, you'll be like, right, let me move this way. And then you'll be like, right, this is a vertical picture. There's nothing important there or there. And you're going to reveal more of what the outfit is, and you can sell more clothes and shoot full length and sell shoes. You know what I mean? There's so much that we can do as far as our cropping, but there's so much we can also miss with our cropping. And some people won't be able to put their finger on exactly what you're doing, but they just won't hire you. So for me, when I look at work, I try to put my finger on exactly what you're doing so you can fix it. And then now let's see your work with that problem fixed. Now all of a sudden you start getting traction and people start noticing you because you understand how to shoot for layout. I hope that helps. That's Anak Kai, everybody. Anna, one last look. Let's go. All right, Anna. So, we go on. How many more, Kay? Let's see. Mike Morrison. Mike Morrison is making a picture with a twist. I walked with a red light outlining the top of this car, turned around, switched to white, and made 3 passes over the car, circling the wheels so they'd pop. For the Cobra emblem, I photoed the emblem and cut the background. A7R5 with a 24-70 GM Mark II, 24, 30 seconds, F8, ISO 50. This is with a newer RGB light. This is Mike Morrison, who is a car photographer. Mike Morrison, thank you for submitting. I appreciate it. Mike Morrison, yes. But the logo, this is you trying to be a graphic artist. This is you trying to be a graphic artist. Please don't try to be a graphic artist, because you're not a graphic artist. You're a photographer. Let me just give you a secret. Let's do this. We are going to take this and we are going to go all the way over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Just a gift for you, Mike Morrison. This is a little gift. I'm going to remind you again, you're not a graphic artist. This is not what we do. We make photographs. Don't start thinking that you're going to composite in logos and all this shit. Let me show you how much better this looks, Mike Morrison, without that Cobra logo. Make the Cobra logo its own photograph, Mike, if you're so wowed about the Cobra logo. That's not what we're doing here. How many car photographers do you see them compositing the brand in after the fact? Tell me that this does not look better. Yes or yes. Does this not look better now that I've taken that Cobra logo away? Guess what I can do now? I can put the article here, Mike. I can literally put the article here, Mr. Mike Morrison. Now the article goes here instead of the Cobra logo. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't do that. No. You had me until Cobra logo. That's where you lost me. Do me a favor. Give me this picture without this composite, because it's tacky. And I hate to be so dry, but it is. It's not placed properly, and you're not a graphic artist. So focus on what we know, which is photography. Make the photography insane and let the graphic artist do the design on top of our photos. Now that I've said that, Mike, this is fucking sick, my guy. This is so good. Mike, I'll say again, this is so so good. And your light, your attention to detail, like actually light painting over top of the car, doing extra passes to give highlights along the side of the car. Are you kidding me? Mike, this is bananas. This is so good. And again, I need to remind you how amazing this looks without that logo. This is your picture, Mike. Framed perfectly, works as a double page spread relatively perfectly, other than the fact that the Cobra drops very much on the gutter. I would try to use the middle of the car in order to make that double page spread. This back wheel, you can see that this back wheel starts to get a little bit, this back wheel starts to get a little bit clipped here, starts to get a little bit tight here. Although your nose detail here and here, bum detail is really good on this car. Good spacing, because again, we have amazing space for the article and an amazing space for your headline, right? Amazing space for sub headline down here, right? So don't add, just do your craft, because you doing your craft the way that you did it here, Mike Morrison, is amazing. Please submit this photo again without the Cobra. The Cobra doesn't have the right depth. It doesn't have the right perspective. It just ends up looking hokey. And when I zoom in on it, you can see it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I can also see the garage girders and all this stuff in the background. So if you're going to spend time fixing, spend time blacking out this background so we don't see all of this stuff. Mike Morrison, I hope that brought you value. It's Mike Morrison, everybody. Thanks for submitting. Fantastic photo. Again, an 11 without the Cobra. All right, that's Mike Morrison. This next shooter, they call him Tom Fox. Tom Fox back in action. Nikon Z6, 70mm, f4, 1/25th of a second. Tom Fox back in the saddle again. Tom, thanks for submitting. Yes. 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 If I didn't say it again, yes. By the way, yes. This is, I would say, an 11 out of 10 idea, although we have seen the balloon before this episode. Very interesting. This is an 11 out of 10 execution with the balloon. This is an 11 out of 10 location choice with the dynamic. And this is an 11 out of 10 by using the button to hold the balloon, so this man's hands could be completely free and this is as perfect an execution as I could ask for, Tom Fox. Honestly, very, 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 very well done. This is another 11, people. This is an 11, and you know what happens when you get an 11. That puts you into top contention for photo of the week. Is this your work with a twist? Taylor Swift says, yes, yes, yes. Yes, well done, Tom Fox. That's an 11, my guy. All right, well done. Good shit. Thank you, Tom. All right, next shooter, because I know you guys. Are you guys into this? You still interested? You still feeling? Because, I see the views go up and down. People come in, check, they watch, they go leave, they go by, go walk their dog and come back, whatever. I get that. I try not to pay attention too much to how many people are watching me, but if I'm bringing you value, what you do for me is, number one, hit the hearts. Give me some reacts. Like, let me see some reactions, that gives me a little bit of good vibes, because I see those live. They actually happen live right here for me in chat. Also, If you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment that says replay gang, because it helps me to know that I have a huge crew of people who can't watch live but watch after the fact. Leave a comment. Let me know if I missed any bangers, if I should have picked someone else for photo of the week. I want to hear all of that stuff. Or if you think I was spot on, let me know, okay? Leave comments. Believe me, likes and comments for us content creators are literally how this whole shit works. So it's always appreciated. Doyle Daniels had a lot of fun with this week's assignment. Try to go for a Wes Anderson kind of vibe. Portrait of my good friend Sully, who's a high school history teacher. Shot on the Nikon Z8 with a 50. F 3.5 at a 50th of a second at ISO 64. This is Doyle Daniels. Doyle with with his picture with a twist. This is Doyle Daniels, everybody. Doyle, thanks for submitting. Doyle, I like you, my guy. I like you. I like this idea. I like everything about it, for sure. Let's look at this as a double. Sadly, you can see the foot crops on the gutter, and you know, like, your placement of him, man, is... My voice, I need a drink. I have a drink back there. The placement of him, Doyle, is so spot on, right? Your placement of your subject is absolutely, unequivocally 100% spot on. Look at your placement. Like, it's the discipline in which you place this gent. Oops, that's a great straight line, Carty. The discipline in which you placed this fine gent. Let me get my right color. You know, because I got to use my brand colors. All right, we got that. And then, oops, not that. And then, yeah, so where he is here, you're definite. Oh my goodness, why are you not giving me my shortcuts? Sorry, Doyle, hang tight. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So where he's placed, you can see he's placed so perfectly on the thirds. But now it's on the fourths, or basically on one half of one page. But now you have to rotate him. You got to rotate him so this foot comes here. Do you know what I mean? You got to rotate him so that, but I love the fact that we see the wet leg. It's just, how can we make it so this foot doesn't cross the gutter, right? So again, you just turn this chair, you rotate this chair that way. Now his foot goes out that way, and with the exact same position, you can have his foot here. Just rotate the chair that way. So oftentimes when we're shooting these photos, we're also dealing with problem solving. Like we're trying to make a photo, but it also has to fit a format. And that format is 2 pages in a magazine, or it's a billboard, or it's a vertical. Like, it also has to fit the format. And sometimes these formats are header pictures. They're long, thin, or they're in transit inside the trains, and it's a long, thin photo. So we have to be able to shoot in such a way that works with all kinds of different crops. I also, Doyle, would have loved to have seen his other foot. I also would have liked to have seen his other foot with the flippers. So he could have just had his feet propped up on top of a rock or a log or something like that, or his golf bag or a stack of books. You know what I mean? Like something that makes it so you see that the flippers are on both feet. Do you know what I mean? So it's a small thing. We rotate the chair. That now brings that flipper forward, and then you have him with his feet up on something, and you bring his feet into this corner, and you have big flipper. Rotate the chair that way, and literally you can still have him placed relatively good without him too much on the gutter, but his feet become the feature. Those flippers, the pipe and the hat and the outfit and the wet and the styling and everything. Yes. Doyle Daniels, everybody. Doyle, so close. I'm going to give you an 11 because you swung for the fences, my guy. I'm going to give you an 11 because this is actually a level up for you. Like, I feel the level up for you, Doyle, and you're only in my photo review program. You're not in my Pro Accelerator, and I'm seeing the progress that you're making is incredible. I actually just published a whole bunch of new testimonials from you fine people on thecartymethod.com. Please go have a look to see if your testimonial is there right now live. Yes, Doyle, you are doing great, my guy. This is an 11, couple of small mistakes, applause, smoke, you know the rest. By the way, if you want to see me do the real smoke, if you want to see me conjure the real smoke in this space, you got to become a member. Become a member, gift bomb some members to some people, or, you know, drop a super chat, drop a sticker, do something like that, and I will bring the ambiance in this room like I just did. Guys, that was Doyle Daniels. All right. Nextly, we call Richard Loftus II. Carty, I decided to go with this photo that I took this week on one of the docks in Annapolis. I pretty much told them to just have fun and act natural. I feel like this photo definitely stood out among the many that I took. R6 Mark II, 75 to 300 at 75. 1/250th of a second shot at f5 at ISO 250. This is Richard Loftus II. Richard, your work is getting better. This is like, oh my God, dude, you're so much closer than you were last week. Let's go, Richard. This is a great idea. Let's see the discipline of this frame. Look at the discipline with this crop. It's so disciplined, and I really appreciate that. Richard, there's a couple of distractions. Obviously, there's a couple of distractions. What's happening back here through the fence is a little distracting. Bird poo here on the dock is a little bit distracting. Obviously, a couple of different color signs here are distracting. All this stuff for me is easy to take out and post. A little bit of debris back here, this little thing back here, that little bit of red, that here, this little bit of white that's on that sticky, the way that this pole has that black little flaw right there. This is all stuff that we can fix easily in post. And also take this sign away. This sign, it's bright. It makes my eye go to it. And now we have something that is way less distracting. This is what has to happen when we're shooting our photos, is we really have to scan the frames. Now, as far as your framing and the discipline that you're showing in this picture, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Your exposure is low. This is, we're going to call this right here. Let's go back. There we go. We're going to call this right here. This is under by half a stop. Back here is getting under by 2/3. By 2/3 of a stop in this area of the picture. And way back here and in here, you're losing again 2/3 of a stop. Exposure on your main subjects. Exposure on these is okay. But it's still under. Like if we look here and we look at teeth, they're feeling gray. We're looking at skin, it's feeling a little muddy, and just overall the scene feels dark. If you look at my skin tone here and the exposure on my skin and how it's poppy, the contrast is right, and then look at the photo, you see it feels muddy, right? White is white, and if I show you her teeth next to my shirt, you can see how gray her teeth are actually looking, right? That's exposure. So we have to be super hyper about getting, and again, look at anything that's white in this picture. Look back here, this is quite gray. Look back here, quite gray, quite gray. And also, it's like an overcast day, or the sun is gone, right? Or it's like a really overcast kind of ominous day and underexposed. Looks muddy. In this case, always if you have this kind of a day and it just kind of feels flat, make sure you nail your exposure, but then make it black and white. This is a picture that would pop black and white. It would pop. And all of these distracting bits, still take away all that stuff that I said to do. And by the way, Justin Mitchell says it's also a great emotion shot from our assignment last week. And yes, I 100% agree with Justin's comment. Yes, Justin, I agree with you. But again, this is this week, and we're talking about photos with a twist. So for a photo with a twist, yeah, I love it. I love the moment. I love the decisive moment. I like the discipline of your frame. Your discipline is insane. You're just now getting started, Richard Loftus the second. Fix those exposure things. Fix all the stuff in post-production that I pointed out to you quite obviously. Fix all that stuff. Repost. If you're not sure how to do that type of post-production, leave a comment on this video, leave a comment in the community, and make sure you're in my community. I think you are, but I don't think you're active. So you should be active. Like being in the community. Okay, I'm in there. Okay, now what else? Hang out there every day. What are you doing? What do you mean? What else? Share what you know. Look at what other people are doing. Use intelligent imitation. Be there every day. I literally have 370 people now in my community in like just over a month, like maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Like in Discord, I had almost 900. So but again, not as many active people, and so many people hate Discord. This new community is so sick, but you got to participate. You can't just be in there. Participate beyond just using it to submit photos. Hang out and just chatting and see what's going on. That is Richard Loftus the second, everybody. Richard, thanks for submitting. It was very close, my guy. Very close. Very close. Definitely works for a photo with a twist. Again, it really is just a lifestyle picture. I want you to understand this is really just a lifestyle picture. There's some photos like the last one with the balloons and the man in the suit. Like this is really a photo with a twist. Don't forget to push harder, okay? Push hard. Push hard. Your comfort zone is where dreams go to die. So please be outside of your comfort zone. By the way, I'm wearing my creative hat. You too could be wearing your creative hat. So you can put your creative hat on and actually get to work, you know? Creative, you can probably buy one right here. Here on, if you minimize the video, you'll see it on the sidebar. The CartyMethodShop.com to buy from the creative collection, which is up for a little while, and then I'm going to make a new one and pull this, and then you'll never be able to buy something that says creative from me again, because I'm going to rotate these collections. Maybe I'll pull it out again next year. All right. This is Marilyn Williams. Marilyn shot with a Sony RX100, shot with a 3/20th of a second, f6.3. ISO 2500. ISO 2500. Shot at 19.3 millimeter. Okay, this is Marilyn Williams. Marilyn, let's see what you are doing here. Marilyn. I asked for a photo within your niche with a twist. Thank you for submitting. I'm trying to figure out what the twist is here. I don't get it, is the first thing that I say, is I don't get it. I understand compositionally you're trying to frame it so it's a double page spread. If your hand on this is important, then why is it cropped? Why is it cropped out when there's so much more of your hand that's not included here? Are you pushing this to make something come out of here? If so, why? Because your other hand isn't underneath here to catch what comes out of here. So I'm trying to understand what these beads are for on the ground, the platform it's on, the loofah, the other loofah, and the bicycle. This is just a bunch of different elements in a photo, and none of them make sense to me. You haven't finished any of the stories. You haven't finished the story as to why you're pumping this. You haven't finished the story as to what happens after. So obviously there's a hand there. You haven't finished the story as to why the beads are there. And the loofah, I'm guessing it's because you're in the bathroom, but you're not in the bathroom because this is a seamless. This is like a piece of plexiglass that you bent up to shoot a still life. So it's not, there's no tiles, there's no like, this is a bathroom scene. But even if it is, what's the twist? And also, there's a huge smudge of toothpaste or whatever this is on the bottom of your platform, which is white and makes it super easy to see first because it's the same white of your background up here, Marilyn. So for me, this is a mess. And I'm not sure what it is that you're doing. Are you trying to be a product photographer? If you're trying to be a product photographer, start talking to Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer was like this maybe 6 months ago. What Miss Jennifer is doing right now is way more profound. Although Miss Jennifer missed the boat this weekend or this week. Marilyn, I think you missed the boat here. I think you missed the understanding of what I mean when I said a picture within your niche with a twist. There is no twist here. This just opens curiosity loops without finishing them, without closing them. The way that your hand looks up here looks incredibly distorted. The way that your hand is morphed, and because you're doing this and also trying to operate your camera, you didn't use your camera on self-timer and then use both hands. So like if this is in fact you, and why are you trying to do all this on your own? Get somebody to be the model so you can actually have someone with perfect hands that you can use as a hand model, or remove the hand element from your photo. Like, there's so many things that you can do in order to make this better. I know that it seems incredibly overwhelming with all the things that I just threw out, but the problem is you went into a photo without an idea. You just had elements. Okay, I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab this, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to grab this. And like you're just trying to make a scene of a bunch of stuff, but like you have to just pick one. And in fact, do this. Find a photo that caught your attention within your niche. Go on Behance. Find photography that makes you want to quit. Find a product photographer that is so good, their work is so good and so refined that makes you want to quit, and then pick one of their pictures and try to intelligently imitate what they're doing. The elements, the perspective, the background, and then put your own twist on it. That's how you'll advance with your photography. What you're doing is you're doing this on your own. You're not looking at references to have something to try to even imitate. So you're just making, and you're not a set dresser, you're not a stylist. So creating these sets and making them interesting enough to photograph, well, you don't have experience doing that either. And then the product photography and the light, well, you're new at that as well. So you're adding all of these elements that you have no experience with, and you're trying to make a photo, and it just ends up looking like a mess. So intelligently imitate what photographers who are living the perfect life that you wish that you had, shooting the work that you wish you were shooting, see what they're doing and start trying to execute their simplest ideas that you feel like you could do and put your spin on. If you do that, you're gonna get a lot better, a lot faster. Right now, this looks like you just threw this together and didn't really know what it's going to turn out like, but you hope for the best. And because of that, this is the result, which is like a forgettable photo. And I don't want to be so harsh, but you need to hear that because we are at war for attention. We're trying to grab attention. If someone looks at something and it doesn't make sense, they just look at something else. They're not going to spend the time that I'm spending right now to try to explain to you why this doesn't make sense. Don't get discouraged. Please submit again. Thank you so much for submitting. That was Marilyn Williams. Colin Blair from Arresting Photos. Good evening, Carty crew, you sultans of shooting. Out of the few ideas I had for this assignment, this was the only one that I felt kind of worked. Nikon D5600. 50 millimeter, 1.8 at f14, 1/60th of a second, ISO 100 with 2 lights and a reflector. Marilyn Williams, I would like you to look at what we are getting from Mr. Colin Blair. This is Colin Blair, everybody. Colin, thanks for submitting. Marilyn, I want you to notice the difference. I want you to notice the difference, the quality, the idea. He has one beer can ripping out of another beer can. He literally exploded a beer can and fit another one inside. Look at the lighting from Mr. Colin Blair from Arrested Photography. Colin, your work has leveled up considerably. And please, you tell me if you think that I'm lying. This is top level light. As far as product photography, oh my goodness, look at you, Colin Blair. My goodness, dude, how long's it been? It's only been like 3 months with this guy, Colin Blair, pulling out the 11s. Colin, yes. Did you extend the background? I don't care. I don't care. Is this also a vertical? Yes. Look at the reflection. Look at, like, this could be a vertical and it could be a horizontal. You could make this a banner, a large strip. Like, this is literally, I would say, art direction. This is art direction heaven. If I gave you this assignment and this is what you gave me, perfect. Go straight to print. Thanks, Colin. Thanks, Colin. I'll call you for the next one. Like, literally, it'd just be like, high five. Thanks so much. Great job. I'll call you for the next one. Just no, like literally, it would just be like, thank you. This is exactly what I expect. This is exactly what I need. I'm going to publish this. I'll call you for, and I said at the end, I'll call you for the next one. Because this is just, okay, he's a sure thing. Now, this guy, he's a sure thing. No problem. Call you for the next one. Thank you. The Guinness people will be very happy. You know what I mean? This is a pro. And again, understand that Colin, every week, does not pull out pictures like this. This doesn't happen every week, okay? But this week, Colin dug deep. And guess what, Colin? You just created a problem for yourself. Because now I see, like, I saw you before pull out some amazing photos of the week, like amazing. But now, bro, your level of polish in this photo, my guy, what? Taylor, tell him, yes. Taylor Swift's going crazy. She's literally going crazy. Deadpool is losing his marbles. Literally losing his marbles. John Travolta doesn't really know where he is. He doesn't know. He's on the wrong stream. He doesn't know where he is. But Colin, you absolutely know what time it is. This is unequivocally 11. Unequivocally an 11. You're getting the smoke. You're getting the applause. Well done. That's Colin Blair. So, again, Colin, do me a favor. Okay? What I want you to do, for me, I would like you to find a photograph that you were shooting or a product that you were photographing a month before you found me. A month before you found me? Show me a photograph. Then, I want you to show me the first photograph that you ever submitted to this show. And then I'm going to compare it to this one right here. And to see the progress, and then also give me the timelines. This was April. This was June. This is August 1st. Like, just like that. I want to see the timelines because how short this guy has like skyrocketed. It's beautiful. Colin, I'm very proud of you. This is Colin Blair. Everybody, in case you haven't seen, see it again. See it again. This is my viewer, okay? And the work, this guy was not shooting this 3 months ago. No fucking way was he shooting like this 3 months ago. But guess what? He joined my community. And guess what? He does assignments. And he does them almost every time. And if he doesn't, if the amount of times that Colin misses is very few. And if he's going to miss, he just doesn't submit. He's like, no. But he handpicks the assignments that suit him. That's where he's like, oh, I can crush this one. And then his consistency, he's not trying to submit every single week. But if it's a product or assignment that he can apply to his niche, this guy, home runs. Colin, you're going to be a working pro, my guy. And I'm telling you, you're not in my accelerator. Like, why are you not in my accelerator? Like, I'm telling you, dude, do it today, because I'm about to raise the price literally before the next one starts. So, guys, I'm so excited because my pro accelerator is literally probably 10 days away. We're doing 2 masterclasses in August. 2. One is called Setting Your Stage, and one is called Phase 1, Your Work in Your Market. And I'm also thinking of even making, if you're not in my pro accelerator, what if I allowed you to just pay to watch a masterclass? Would you watch a masterclass for somebody who's not in my accelerator? Would you be interested in watching a masterclass to see the kind of information that the people in the pro accelerator get? That's all you would get, is the masterclass. You're not going to get any of the other stuff that my guys get. But if you're interested and you would pay to participate a la carte in these 6 phases, let me know and I might set that up. Leave it in the comments. All right, let's see who's next. Who's next? Nina says this. This took over 700 shots. Hey, Nina, welcome to the club. I shoot 100 pictures for one, by the way. So you shot 700 for a complicated one that you really cared about. Hey, welcome to the club. This took over 700 shots. Took a lot of problem solving and deep breaths. But I'm happy to have something to show for my work. Thank you, Carty and crew. Nina, I'm so happy you're here. You're such a positive joy to bring because you like green things. So we're the same kind of people. Okay, ISO 400. Shot at f5 at 1/800th of a second. This is Nina Galagos. Nina, thank you so very much for submitting. Nina Galagos. Nina, you're pushing elements and ideas, and also technically, your ideas are really starting to get strong. Let's look at this as a double. It's strong as a double page. There's not too much flower in this picture, but you definitely do know what the context of this picture is. For me, the fake gems, anytime that you're photographing like cubic zirconia is the highest level of these kinds of gems. But when you're just going to the dollar store and buying a bag of these like fake jewels, you can't ever show them in focus. Because when you see them in focus, they look so tacky. Seeing it like this in the background over here is okay. Oops, sorry. Let me just zoom that out. Seeing this like this in the background is okay. Seeing this is okay. But as soon as you see this one, and this one that's so sharp is actually sharper than the flower. So these ones are sadly like, this is okay, but this is too sharp and it just looks too low budget. Like, let's look at this close. We've all seen what like Tiffany's ads look like. We've all seen jewels. We've all seen Burke's diamonds. So when we see this, which is literally just low quality plastic, not even buffed or shined or sharp edges or anything. And sadly, this bud isn't focused and this one's not. So your main flower isn't sharp. You have your second one sharp. So it's got to be this one that's sharp. For me, this needs to be more significant. This isn't enough product to have. You have a bigger product back here. So I would swap that one to up here. And there's not enough of it. You need to get a lot of product if you're trying to do a feature product shot. For me, what I would have done is this flower, I would have replaced everything on the floor that are these jewels with little bits of flour, and then have the bubbles. And then there's the context of obviously enjoy the flour and you're going to have a bubbly good time. You know what I mean? So that's the context. For me, it's the propping and also the blue ground and the way that this super shallow depth of field, sorry guys, the way that this super shallow, I've lost my mouse, there it is. This super shallow, like I don't know what's going on with the texture in this background. So this texture is looking super weird and your depth of field is so shallow. It's so shallow. How much product photography have I showed you with infinite depth of field? I show you Scott Cicchino. And you look at Scott Cicchino and look at any of his photography. It's infinite depth of field. So please stop shooting product photography at 1.8 with a super shallow depth of field where everything in the background goes all portrait light and liquefied. Nobody does that in advertising right now. We actually need every single thing to be tack sharp. So please don't shoot so shallow. Please. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Learn how to make your ideas interesting and your sets interesting enough that you don't have to hide shit with it being out of focus. Please. That's it. And this applies to product photography, not shooting people. It's completely different. But when you're shooting things, like clients want their thing to be as lifelike as possible, better than real life. They rarely pay for like illusion, and using depth of field tricks to make your photos look more interesting is illusion. Make your photos more interesting, and therefore you can show infinite depth of field because everything that's in your photo makes sense and there's a reason. The background, the color choice, everything. And also like use paper for a background. Whatever you're using, it has too much texture. Nina, it has too much texture, and that texture is only emphasized by your light and your angle. Like it's this blue. The blue contrasts with the flower. That blue and that green don't go together. And then when you look at your horizon line, because you've made your horizon line such a predominant thing in the picture, it's actually crooked. It's actually leaning, it's lower on the right than it is on the left. So these are all things that you have to be as obsessed as I am looking at photos, looking at your own photos. Also, obviously, you see the back of this is black and it's up against a black background. So although you do have a little bit of highlights on there, we're not getting as much detail as if it was a lighter background or the stem of that particular pipe was white or bone or something like that. That's just made it a little bit of a contrast. Those are my scents. Those are my 2 cents, Nina Gallegos. I hope this brought you value. Nina shoots flowers for a living. Congratulations, Nina. Again, great shot. You're a great shooter. You've blown me away. You've won photo of the week. This one was actually less, and I know you shot 700 photos and spent all kinds of times, but that doesn't matter if it didn't hit. You know, you've made other pictures with like fiber optic cables inside tubes and stuff like that, that for me, you didn't brag about how many photos you shot with that, but they just hit. And you did that top down. Like you weren't trying to have a background and a foreground. You shot top down. You did it differently. So the things that work, do them again. Don't always try to reinvent the wheel with your submissions, okay? I'm sure that that's going to help. It's Nina. Are you good? Are you out there taking selfies, looking at your phone, or are you paying attention? You can be looking at your phone, it's fine, as long as I'm on it saying hello. But again, these shows are way better to look at on a big screen. Look at them on a TV, it's crazy. Look at them on like a big monitor. Yeah, you can see all the nuance, because I'm looking at this on dual 4Ks. I have a 32-inch 4K and a 27-inch 4K. So dual 4Ks, I look on the images on this monitor, which is massive. My camera's right next to it. And then in between my 2 monitors, I have this camera. And I have monitors like this. And then there's a camera in between. So, this is Romeo Fowler. My submission of a photo with a twist. Fuji, 50 millimeter. ISO 200, shot at 250, f8, one love. This is Romeo Fowler. Romeo, thank you for submitting. Let's get it on. Romeo. Romeo, this is an idea. This is an idea, and you know, this is actually compositionally really solid. And other than the fact that you're clipping her elbow just a touch here, I really like this. I like the fact that it's as if, I know that she's, it's as if these balloons are the gum that she's using as earrings, which I think is really clever. The fact that she has these, which also matches this, and this also super clever. She's just doing this. She doesn't have gum in her mouth. So how you make it legit is have actual gum in her mouth and have her like, so you actually see that she has gum, or have gum in her mouth, have her blowing a balloon or blowing a bubble, and she has a pink bubble coming out of her mouth that you can see is a real bubble, and then she's got these two big pink, it's like as if she blew a bubble and then she stuck it to her ear. Now that's what you're thinking about. So again, I'm gonna ask you to look at this photo, and you can see what she's doing with her mouth is fake. There's nothing in there. So for me, this is the only missing link. It's the only missing link. Take any of this gum, put it in her mouth, have her chew it up, and then make funny faces as she's chewing it. Like, though, that's like a small little bit of like direction, but that comes from reps, Romeo. The more reps you do, the more you're going to get amazing at direction. You should be shooting and doing and trying to do work like this every day. You should be trying to do work like this every day. Well, you guys are saying that your mind went to balloons. Of course, you would think balloons because balloons, but essentially it's a bubblegum machine. So my eyes went to bubblegum. The bubblegum machine's pink. It matches this. You just get a couple of pink balloons, blow them up, and pretend that you could even take the third pink balloon, blow it up, and have her have it in her mouth and pretend that she's chewing gum and blew a big bubble. And now you have three things. So it's just, again, you're one of those ones, Romeo, where I don't know what other edits you have. Do you have a better edit where she's not having air in her mouth and pretending that it's full? Anything that you're faking, we see that it's fake. FYI, don't pretend that you're chewing gum. Put gum in the mouth and chew it. It just makes it so much more real. And I know they're balloons as well, Stymats. But again, I'm just trying to, if she had gum in her mouth, that would at least make you think that it was gum for 1 second longer before you put two and two together that, yes, these are balloons. Romeo, this is an 11 for me. So you get it with the crop. You get the 11 for me with the crop. You get an 11 for me with your exposure. You're still pushing your shadow detail a little bit too far. Don't pull your shadow so much that this no longer looks like dark hair. It looks gray because you're pulling shadow detail out so much. So we see detail all in here. Like, I appreciate that, but the shadow, like, you can actually go too far with adding shadow detail. Your skin retouching is spot on. Spot on. Like, you've gotten so much better with exposure. Like, Romeo, this is definitely a level up. But I also want you to look. This is a black shirt. But look at how gray it looks. It's so gray because you're pushing your shadows so far up. Go easy on your shadow detail. Oops, I erased that picture. Let me open that again. Yeah, go easy with your shadow detail. This is an 11 though for me, Romeo. This is a win. Again, your consistency. It can't be up and then up, and then up. It's got to be always top level work. I will remind you, you are not doing this for me. You are doing this for you, so you can sustain your family at a level that you never have before. So you can make, not even as a side hustle, over 100K with your camera because you have talent. It's just about consistency and being open to hearing everything that other people have to say, especially me. Even if it hurts your feelings a little bit, understand I'm also a man of God. And I'm telling you this because I care about you, I love you, and I want you to be successful. That is Romeo Fowler, everybody. Romeo. Oh, sorry. I guess you don't want to see my iPad. Romeo Fowler. All right. Let's see. I think we have 1 or 2 more remaining. Dan Evans shot this on a rainy day. I had planned a great shoot or shot, but the weather didn't pan out, so we shot this inside. Grandson didn't want to help much, so he pulled his shirt up and gave me the peace sign. Yep, that's him. 5D Mark II, Sigma 50mm 1.8, shot with an umbrella, Speedotron pack, Godox flash gels on slave mode. A 60th of a second at f5.6 with a light meter. Okay, this is Dan Evans. Dan, thanks for submitting. First thing off the top, you are composing on the thirds. You can see that you are composing on the thirds. In fact, this is a vertical picture that you're shooting horizontally. There's nothing that is, there's literally no need for this photo to have been shot horizontal. You can see clearly this is shot as a magazine cover, meaning you could just go across here with the top line, just go down here with the blah, 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 and just go down here with the blah, 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 and there's your photo. So this is not a horizontal picture. This is a vertical picture that you held the camera horizontally, which I recommend you not do. Having a, like, is this a photo with a twist? Well, yes, but it's not horizontal. So it is, but it's not. You know what I mean, Dan? Like, you know, this is not important. If the art director said, I'm going to publish your picture, I'm going to give you a single page, but I'm making it a vertical, you'd be okay with that, right? And then he would also say, because number one, this isn't important here. There's nothing here that's important. And by the way, on the other side, Dan, you did notice that that I see the edge of the background and all of this stuff over here, which kind of reveals past the fifth wall. So this is a horizontal picture, but it's really a vertical picture. The most important thing is what's happening in here. So if you want to make this a horizontal picture, well, then you have to offset it this way, so it works like this. And then you crop it a little bit lower or smaller, so it fits like this. And well, there you go. Now you have yourself a horizontal double page spread. And it makes sense. And the art director's not mad at you. And you have space for the article to go right here. But the way that you delivered this to me, like this, is not acceptable. Because it's sloppy. And that's not what we do. That's not what you should be thinking of as a standard. This should not meet your standards. You could have definitely offset him one side or punched in, as I showed you, punched in, and then like, because there's nothing important about him crossing his legs. So just punch in and just do that. Super simple. Punch in so you actually really can focus in on him, or punch in even more and like really focus in on what he's doing. But it gets hard when you get in that close. Focus in right there. You know what I mean? So that's my take. We have to editorialize everything that we're shooting. And yes, could I crop this picture to save it? Sure. I've just showed you 35 ways that I could crop this picture to save it. That one being the easiest right there. So, but again, my goal is to teach you how to shoot this in camera properly, because 2 pages is 18 by 12, which is a 2 by 3 proportion, which is the same proportion of you holding your camera horizontally. That is exactly 2 pages in a magazine. So the more you get used to shooting that and nailing it without having to do any shifting or cropping, the more of your sensor that the art director is able to use, the higher quality your images will be, and the more often you'll get double page spreads. Double pages pay as much as a cover. So should be trying to look to get double page spreads. I hope that brought you value, guys. That was Dan Evans, and Dan was our very, very last shooter of the day. Dan Evans, thank you. And everybody who submitted today, thank you. I definitely got some good work. I also see that there's people who have work to do. There's people who have work to do, and not like, is it work to do on the work? Well, some people have work to do on the post-production and learning how to like see how your file should look, to make sure your sliders aren't like shadows at like 90 or like 80 or 50. Like, just go easy on this stuff. Like, it's all extreme this way. It's like, it's all fixing shit in post, you know? Learn how to expose. Learn how to make stuff super tight, and then learn how to not butcher it on the back end. Learn how to not butcher your stuff in post. Learn how to crop properly, you know? Let's go through and I think I'm going to choose my photos of the week. I'm guessing you're passionate about photography, but navigating the leap from hobbyist to professional can feel like a daunting, solitary journey. You know that you have the potential, but what you need is a clear path and expert guidance. I'm sure you also know that photography school costs upwards of $50,000, or maybe you think you're too old to go back to school. That's where I come in. I can give you delivery of my patented Carty method one-on-one. It's not just any mentorship, it's a personalized deep dive into a proven 6-phase system that I've developed over my 33-year career. Together, we'll walk through each phase of the Carty method, tailored specifically to your needs and your pace. Whether it's mastering the art of composition, or understanding the business side of photography, or even developing your unique style, I'll be there to guide you every step of the way. You can take the first step towards realizing your dream of becoming a professional photographer very simply. Enroll in the Carty Method one-on-one mentorship today. With personalized guidance and actionable steps at every session, you're not just learning, you're actually transforming. My time is limited. There's only 24 hours in a day, so I can only take on 8 shooters this way. So apply now to secure your spot and start your journey to becoming a professional photographer. Listen to that guy. He knows what he's talking about. All right. Photos of the week, guys. Photos of the week we have. All right, let's get into it. Let me just make sure I know all the names. Okay, beautiful. That was the last one. All right, people. In no particular order. We don't have a lot of photos of the week this week, you know, to be honest. But the ones that hit. And you'll see it. You'll see it right away. Guys, our first photo of the week goes to the one they call Garan Wrath, baby. Photo of the week. Let's go. Let's go. Garan Wrath. Let's go, baby. Well done, Garan. So good. So good. I'm very proud of you. Photo of the week. Make sure you screenshot that. Yes or yes. Yes or yes. Yes or yes. Our next photo of the week. Taylor, you ready? You ready? You ready? Okay. First photo of the week win ever. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Van Cleef. Photo of the week. Congratulations, Daniel. Daniel's in my accelerator program. Daniel, congratulations. Look at you, Daniel, winning your first photo of the week, my guy. Congratulations, buddy. All right. Our next photo of the week. This one's consistency. And again, a small mistake. But it's too good for me to pass up. Ladies and gentlemen, our next photo of the week winner goes to Anak Kai. Anak Kai with this photo of the week. Your niche with a twist. Daniel, congratulations, by the way. Anna, congratulations. Photo of the week. Anak Kai. Anna's very good so far, guys. Yes. Very good so far. Yes. More? 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 More. Our next photo of the week winner, people, goes to the one they call Tom Fox. He's got 3 letters in each of his names, just like both my children. The one they call Tom Fox. Photo of the week. Congratulations, Tom Fox. This is an absolute banger. Tom Fox. Congratulations, Tom Fox, racking up the photo of the weeks. You know you need to be on my accelerator, my guy. You know you need to. Tom Fox, everybody. Save that one. Save that one. Our next photo of the week, people, goes to somebody who I've been helping one-on-one. I've been helping in a masterclass in my accelerator. He's part of my staff, and like, I respect this guy so much, and he tries so effing hard. He tries so hard, man. And he's got the most unique niche of all. But he's going to crack this code, and this guy's going to be making $250,000 a year shooting tools just like this. The one they call Mike Steinmetz on his road to seeking photo of the week. Steinmetz comes out swinging with this photo of the week. You are definitely Carty approved, Mike Steinmetz. We're going to give you the smoke again. And we're going to give you the photo of the week seal of approval again. Mike, you've been working towards this for a really long time. I want you to know that I notice. I want you to know that I notice. Don't think I don't notice. But remember when you did that grinding photo, that double page, and boom, you got photo of the week on that. So, like, when you hit, Mike, you hit. And I want you to know I do not play favorites. You know that. Everybody who watches me knows that I don't play favorites. If you hit, you hit. If you miss, you miss. It does not matter who you are as far as watching me. I will tell you absolutely straight. I have truth tattooed right here. I gotta speak truth. So, Mike Steinmetz, photo of the week. Congratulations. And there's one more. There's one more last photo of the week this week. And this last photo of the week, again, the progress from this shooter, I think you guys know who it is. Ladies and gentlemen, they call him Colin Blair. Photo of the week. Come on, Colin. What are you trying to do, man? Make everybody look bad? You know that's what people are saying right now. They're cursing you. They're cursing you because you got so good so fast. They're cursing you. But you put in the work. You put in the work. And again, I'm interested in bringing some of my Carty method superstars, people who are really accelerating using my methods. I'm going to start bringing you guys in as guests and talk about what you're doing with my information and how you're utilizing it in order to be able to craft work like this. Listen, Colin Blair, everybody, Colin Blair also wins. You know it to be true. He wins Best in Show. Best in Show. Let's go. Congratulations.
Let's go.
Congratulations, Best in Show. Congratulations, Colin. You truly deserve it. But guess what? One more Best in Show. One more Best in Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Garan Wrath. Best in Show. Absolute impressed with you, my guy. I'm so happy that you found me, and I'm so happy I found you. I'm going to turn you into a destroyer, my guy. A destroyer. Those two are your Best in Show. Everybody who submitted today, thank you. I appreciate you. This is Carty Crew. This is the Carty Method, a 6-phase system that I help you to go from your struggling 9-to-5 bullshit life to the life of a working pro, the life that you actually are destined for, the life that you want. That's what I'm here. That's all I obsess over, trying to help you get there. Go to thecartymethod.com. Learn how I can help you. Take my professional photographer's readiness guide. See how ready you are to be a pro with the 6 phases of my system. And also, this week's assignment, if you choose to do it. Don't think I forgot, big guy. Don't think I forgot. This week's assignment, if you choose to do it. Shoot a vertical image within your niche that shows movement. I need you to capture and show, convey movement in a still image. Are GIFs accepted? No. Are videos accepted? No. Your only requirements, show movement. And please, do not be basic, okay? Do not be basic. This isn't a joke. You're doing this for you. You're not doing this for me. I am only your guide. I am only your coach. I am giving you training. Create a photo within your niche that shows movement. Look out for an example in my assignment folder. If you'd like to find this assignment, you will find it in the Carty Crew community. Go to thecartymethod.com. See if there are any spots left for my photo reviews. There may be a couple. I cap it at 75. So once I get to that level, those now are the people that I'm doing photo reviews for. I have not done my big wave of promotion pre my next accelerator startup, but my accelerator is starting literally in like 10 days. So I'm sending out a wave of emails this week to start trying to fill those last spots. But the price is going up before I send out that email. So if you're thinking about it, if you're sitting on the fence, if you don't mind giving me more money, wait, please, till the last minute when I send out this email and see if there's a spot then. But if you want to make sure you have a spot, I would go check now, because I didn't check to see how many people signed up, but people sign up every day and one less spot is available. And then, after I close it, I'm going to close it before the beginning of the cycle. It will open again the next time I'm ready to start a cycle again. So I can focus on the photographers who are in there, and I can actually create insane transformations for them. And I don't have people joining halfway through like I had many people join during this last round. So we're going to stop that. So, can you use blur, says Mr. XX. Mr. XX, I am asking you to show movement in a single frame. Whatever you need to do in order to do that, do it. Find references. Calligraphy is my reference master. He will find references that'll make you want to throw up. Look at the references that he shows and understand. Don't go into a different niche just to shoot movement. You need to figure out how to shoot movement or show movement within your own niche. Imagine, Garan is going to have to show movement with a product photograph. How's he going to do that? You know, if you're a portrait shooter, how are you going to show movement? With a slow shutter speed. Mix some flash in with it. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of different ways to do it. I show movement in my photographs all the time. Look at my portfolio. Have fun on my website. You'll see all kinds of examples. Guys, I hope that brought you value. It is due Wednesday midnight. Wherever you are on the world, your time zone, when it hits midnight, that's when you can't submit anymore. Cool? Yeah, so you have 6 days. I'll post that assignment within the next 15 minutes or so. You'll find it in the community. Again, speaking of community, make sure that you're in there. It is the fastest growing community of emerging and pro photographers in the industry, according to me, using no stats. I'll be back Sunday. I have some amazing new guests coming in. I'm going to be doing some online chats with some new guests. I'm going to have some new people on the couch. We're going to start doing some podcasts from the couch with new guests. I'm going to start bringing in some people who I've been creating some amazing transformations for, start bringing in and talking to them about their lives. And I want to talk to you. You can book a free consultation with me, but not until you fill out the professional photographer's readiness scorecard. It is right here in the video description. Just for yourself, fill out my readiness scorecard to see if you get a score above 50%. See that. There's very few who are getting scores above 50%. My questions were a little bit weird. If you did do it the last time I mentioned it on a show, if you did it right away, you might have got some skewed answers. I had to fix a couple of things. I think it's pretty much perfect, almost. It's pretty much perfect now. So go in there, do your readiness scorecard and see your strongest areas and your weakest areas so you know where you should be improving. I'm here to help you, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Another commercial-free episode brought to you by the members of this channel. We are trying to push the members up far above the 200 mark, but we are not there yet. If you made it to the end of this episode, you realize I'm giving you hella free content and commercial-free. I wouldn't be able to give you commercial-free content without the members of this channel, so please consider becoming a member. If I'm helping you, if I'm educating you, this is free. Oh my God, it's YouTube. It should be free, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Yeah. How's it going to work out for you? You can't just take without a little bit of exchange. I make a living as a photographer, but this is a business. So if you want my eyes on you, if you want attention, pay attention to the community. You want more eyes, join the photo reviews, and consider becoming a member so I can actually keep doing this. Because yeah, it helps everybody at this. It helps everybody if I keep doing this. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I typed everybody's name who became a member recently. The last 25 of you, you're going to see your name scroll across the bottom, or I mean the top. And if you became a member, a believer recently, you're going to see your name scrolling across the bottom. I hand type these every single day. It takes a lot to type Lucky's Cameras and DJ and Fred Smith and Christina Ford and Monica and Primo and Mike Lilly and Nina. It takes a long time to type everybody's names. So become members so I have to type more. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching today and every day.